Welcome. I am very excited to welcome Jordie here with us today. He is the founder and CEO of Seven Eagle Group. And if you guys don't know what that is, look it up. It's all over the place. But what he has done is extremely impressive and successful and selfless, if I might say, helping veterans transition their skills into meaningful and rewarding careers. And I know, Jordie, you have a whole process with helping veterans kind of get out of what they are used to and kind of into the working force, which is just incredible. So, welcome, Jordie. Thank you so much for being here, man. Why don't you go ahead and just talk a little bit about yourself and what Seven Eagle Group does?
Sure. Well, thank you, Johnny. It's an honor to chat with you on your podcast and to learn more about what you're doing to help your community of adults stay fit and healthy and live long lives. So that fits in nicely with our community as well. But anyway, Seven Eagle Group is a veteran success organization. As you explained, we help transitioning service members and military veterans and mil spouses connect with rewarding, lucrative careers. We provide services to them to help them make smooth transitions into the civilian sector so they can, live the rewarding, the exciting lives that they deserve. So I absolutely love the work. I didn't serve in the military. My father did in World War II, but
That's
our
incredible.
organization has about 35 people around the country and made up of all vets, and just absolute honor to work in this industry and to help companies get access to these incredible workers.
Well, yeah, man, that is just unbelievable. I know there are thousands of veterans all over the country, all over the world. Um, who maybe serving time for a number of years, and then when they get out, either because they're done or they're injured or whatever, find some sort of regular job, some sort of income. And I know a lot of these people get recruited out of high school or out of college, so they don't really have a lot of experience in the workforce when they hit their maybe what 40s, 50s. So I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. When
Oh,
did when
thank
did you start all of this?
So this is our 11th year, um,
Okay.
helping the community. And that, yeah, as you said, I mean, most people who serve our country go right from high school to the service, and whether they do 4 years and get out or 20 years and retire and then get out at age 40, a lot of them, it's their first civilian job. And the military does an incredible um, job at teaching and training this workforce, these men and women, to be just tremendous assets to their future employer. And they teach them the skills, the leadership, the grit, the toughness, similar to, I know you're a big athlete, and similar to like a college athlete. You get that same training, that same mindset, that same toughness that you can learn any skill on the civilian side for the most part and be a great worker. But you have that strong foundation that you know companies love.
Yeah. So 11 years. That's pretty. What did you do before this?
So like you, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I'm in my late 50s now, but ran a variety of other businesses, mostly in the sports industry as well. We did uh, right out of college, did a business that worked in the youth baseball and high school baseball. Worked with Hall of Famer's family, Roberto Clemente from Puerto Rico. We took
Wow.
athletes from all over the country to PR to play games against locals there, and then we moved into hockey and worked with the New York Rangers to do hockey players up to Canada. So always involved in sports and always sort of doing my own thing, which I love.
Hey everyone, Johnny here. Sorry for interrupting, but I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you so much for being here on my podcast. If you guys are enjoying the episodes and the conversations that I'm having with these special guests, please go ahead and like this video and hit that subscribe button so that you guys can see our future episodes. I know there's a ton of different podcasts and episodes that you could be listening to or watching right now. So once again, thank you so much for being here and supporting us. All right. Now back to the show. What kind of sports did you participate in?
Did I play? Well, just high school, but
Yeah,
wrestled, baseball and soccer.
baseball.
And as I got older, wish I kept playing through college, but just didn't have that focus then. But now as I'm older, I love biking, hiking, and
That's great.
um, try to get to the gym every day. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I just love sports. It's such a big part of my life.
Yeah. That must mean you're kind of competitive, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess you have to, right? And
Yeah.
growing up playing sports, that's one of the great things about it. You just want to always do your best and
Yeah,
never give up
yeah.
and
I
work
played some
hard.
baseball in college and I swam in college. And I had to choose one or the other to go to. I'm sorry, let me start over. I swam and played baseball in high school, and then I had to choose one
Choose
or the
one
other
in
to
college.
participate in college, and I went with swimming. And I love baseball. I miss it a lot.
Yeah. What
But
stroke
I do a
did
lot
you
of
do in
triathlons now
swimming?
too, so cycling is
Oh, good
definitely one
for
thing
you.
that I love.
I
I
did
love
some
doing.
triathlons after college. I love those, man. I got to get back. I did one about 5 years ago, and
Where at?
they it was out in a island called Block Island, which is off of
Okay.
Rhode Island. It was like a little sprint one, but it was very humbling because when I got there, they handed me the gray swim cap. Everyone else had the different colors based on their age. I
Right.
was the old man category, so that was
Yeah,
a hard blow for the ego. But I love it, man. Me and
that's
my
funny.
wife like to bike all the time in the summer and like to
Right.
swim, all that stuff. So
Cool. So you've been an entrepreneur for the majority of your life, and 11 years ago you started Seven Eagle Group. What kind of sparked your interest or your passion to start this group and take it off running? You know, because it's
yeah, good
grown
question,
quite a
man.
bit over the last decade, which
Yep.
is incredible. And not a lot of people can say that about their business, but what you're doing, I think, is just so incredible, which is maybe why it's, grown so much.
Yeah.
So what kind of started it all?
Yeah, really good question. The before this one, I had a different a prior business, a family business, and that one went south. That one fell off the rails. Anyone who's done business, who's started businesses, it's hard. It's not easy to launch a business. Incredibly rewarding and fun, and you learn a lot fast, but you also have the risk of it not working out. That one didn't work out, so I left that, and I wanted to just do another one. Yeah, obviously launch another business, and wanted to do something virtually. The prior business I had an enormous overhead every day. It was very stressful for me, a physical location. So I wanted to do something that I could do from home
Right.
virtually. I mean, and I wanted to do something that meant something. Like I had a mission behind it, a passion. I felt like it was had a purpose to it. And I wish I came across Seven Eagle Group when I was in my 20s and not in my 40s, because um it's like the dream job, man. I love it. I love getting up early in the morning. I love working late at night and on weekends because it doesn't feel like work to me, because it's the opportunity to help our country's, men and women who sacrifice so much for all of us. Um, to help connect them with rewarding jobs. When that happens, when we make those matches, man, it's a great feeling. So I get this rare um combination of being able to be at home. So I work when I'm my own boss, which is awesome. I get
Yeah.
to
I know
help
that feeling.
this incredible audience of veterans, help them with their careers, which they appreciate, and help companies around the country get these superstar workers, these really good contributors. And it's a for-profit business, so it pays my bills and get to make a
Mhm.
living doing it. So I feel like it checks a lot of boxes for me. So I really enjoy the work.
That's great. That's good. I like how you said that, you're because this is your passion, this is what you like to do. It doesn't really feel like work, right? You're waking up in the morning, going to bed at night, but you're doing work in and out. You have your own schedule, um, which is great. So, and I feel like that just comes with doing what you want to do, right? A lot of people will work and do what they don't want to do just because it's secure or safe. And you're right, starting your own business is very hard and scary, but very rewarding.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Because when I'm advising or we're mentoring the service members, I encourage everyone to have a side gigs, have a side hustle, like get a full-time job that's going to pay your bills and take that stress away. But sometimes it's hard to find a full-time permanent position that gives you the satisfaction every day, that gives you that happiness that everyone deserves, right? That makes you feel like you're making a difference. But can you get that job and that's your 9 to 5? But then, hey, we all have 5 hours extra a day when we're not working or sleeping or eating, right? What are you doing with those extra
Right.
20 hours a week? Maybe more if you want, but and easily 20 hours. Can you do something for yourself that gives you some purpose where you get excited about it, where you feel like you're making a difference in other people's lives? And maybe you'll hit it, man. Maybe you'll figure out how to make some money doing that. And you could leave the grind, the rat race of the 9 to 5, and you can focus on your business, but be smart about it and pick some side hustle that doesn't require a big investment. It's more labor, more your time,
Yeah.
and your learning curve will go through the roof if you could do that.
Yeah, for sure. How many employees do you have working right now for Seven Eagle Group?
There are about 35 of us around the country, and
Okay.
they are a combination of veterans um, uh, or a combination of veterans or transitioning service members. So the military has this amazing program that we're a provider of that allows a transitioning service member who is typically 3 months away from exiting the service, right? They're either retiring or their exit date, and the military allows them to spend that time period uh, working on their civilian career so they can come to an organization like ours, spend that last 3 months focusing full time on their transition. So we work with them and we hire those folks as well.
Okay. So you typically work with veterans for about 3 months?
We work with the transitioning service members for 3 months. We have a live academy every day. So
Okay.
we have 4 hours of basically like live training on these transitions. So we bring in speakers to talk to them. Like today's session, we had um, a executives from American Airlines, from a big financial bank called BlackRock. Um, we have um, speakers coming from the sports industry, from healthcare, from construction. So they get to hear from all these different executives about what it's like to work in those specific industries. They get to hear from folks who come on and teach them about mental health and
That's very
you
cool.
know any topic that's going to help them be successful in this
Mhm.
next career. So
Yeah,
next chapter.
right. Wow, that's incredible. And so you have 35 employees now, but you didn't always have 35 employees, right? I'm sure when you started, it was just you, right?
Yeah.
So to people who are watching or listening to this right now who are wanting to start a business or at the beginning stages of their business, what was kind of your next step after you started to start growing?
Yeah, good question. I mean, my advice, having done, I don't know how many, 8 businesses or something. Most of them don't make it, right? Most of them, they just sort of putter out. But
You kind of like trial and error a little bit to kind of see what
exactly,
you like
you
and what
have to.
works.
The line I use with people who want to go down this path of entrepreneurship is just fail fast, man. You will fail. You will have tons of failures in your career, right? And get them over with as quickly as possible and just try your best to learn from other people, right? If somebody out there wants to do some sort of business and fitness, they should meet with you for 20 minutes. Let them hear from you.
Mm,
What advice do you have for me? What were some of the mistakes you made? If you could do it again, what would you do differently? And maybe they can avoid some of the stuff that the lessons you learned, the lessons I've learned,
yeah, right.
so they don't have to suffer. It's not the right word, but they don't have to, it doesn't have to be as slow of a everything is speed.
Right.
Like how fast can you get to a level where you're growing the business, where it's something maybe you can do full time, maybe you can make a lot of money, maybe you can touch a lot of people. But to go fast, you got to avoid all that, as much of that hard stuff as possible, and learn from other people. So get mentors who have done it before. Don't pick businesses in the beginning that require a big financial investment, or where you're going to put your retirement up as collateral. Try to do more service oriented businesses. There's so many cool ones out there that you can do. And pick something where you could just get a little bit better each day at, and you'll
Yeah.
eventually find it.
Did you get a mentor when you first started, or a coach or something to
I
help you with
did,
the
yeah, there
business?
was, yeah, but you get this ego, and most people who start businesses, we're A-type personalities, like, I got this, I could do this, get out of my way, right?
Yeah.
And so you have a little bit of that, but I used, I talked to a ton of people to get guidance. There's a group called score.org. It's a government organization. I don't even know if they're still around, knowing what's going on today, but they offer free, stands for Service Corps of Retired Executives. So if you want to start a business, no matter what it is, you just go onto the site, say, hey, I'm looking to start a business in the travel industry. Just find a retired travel executive who did that business, and they'll meet with you on Zoom or in person, and you could get
Yeah.
this free guidance. That's a great one. But it's so easy on LinkedIn, just find somebody who's doing the job you want to
Yeah.
do, and just approach them with gratitude, and you know, with an appeal of, hey, listen, is there any way you can help me? I value so much your path and what you've done, and I'd love to learn from you. I'm trying to get started on my own, and any support, any suggestions you might have for me, any chance we can meet on Zoom for 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
most people will be more than happy to meet you and take you under their wing. And then you do that with 10 people. And if 10 of them say, go for it, you got a great idea and you're doing the right thing, then you can go into it with some confidence. But
Right.
if you meet with 10 people and 9 of them say, oh man, I would think about something else, then maybe you don't go down that path,
Well, that way you actually at least get advice from people who have experience, so they can save you
No doubt.
a lot of heartache over the next
Right,
couple of years or whatever with
right.
different things. And you're right. It's not suffer is not really the right word, but going through the headache for multiple
The
years, not knowing
grind,
if what you're
yeah.
doing is right or not, right?
Right. It's that grind. You're
Yeah.
working. So you will work hard. Doing your own business is not a traditional job. I mean, you will be working on weekends, if on at nights, because you love it. Hopefully you love it. You're in the shower,
Yeah.
you're thinking of ideas, right? And you're fully invested and committed to it. That's the way you should be with it. And hopefully
Yeah.
it's something you love that just, like your business, Johnny, you're changing people's lives, man. You can help some executive working his ass off, and he's overweight and at risk of getting diabetes, and all of a sudden 6 months later you can get him on a path that's gotten him off some drugs and turned his life around. He feels more confident and stronger, and he feels like he's going to
Hmm.
be there for his kids and grandkids. Man, what a cool thing to be able to say you made an impact like that in somebody's
Thank you very
lives.
much.
Most people go through their lives with never having that opportunity to make that sort of an impact, because they're just doing some job, they're sitting in some cubicle, they're staring at a computer all day, when their love is doing something else, and fight for it, man. Fight for yourself to have that life that you deserve, and pick something, like my 18-year-old son, he wanted to do something last year, and he said he just went around to the homes in our neighborhood and said, um, hey, I'll sell whatever junk you have in your house that you want to get rid of for you. So he'd go and they'd say, oh, these golf clubs, this baby, table, this couch, right? All the crap that we have that we would love to throw away.
Yeah.
And then he took pictures, he posted them on Facebook Marketplace, and he did it for like 3 homes, and then he, like any 18-year-old, ran away, yeah, did something else, but he
Yeah.
made like $220. It was probably like 3 hours of his time. He just sold other people's junk for free on Facebook Marketplace, and he kept uh whatever, a quarter of the money, and he gave them the rest. And He made a lot of money, and it was like that cost him nothing but time,
Right.
and now he got a good experience out of it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And even something as simple as that comes down to just making a connection and like helping somebody,
Yep,
right? And it's
absolutely.
just it is rewarding because you're helping somebody. I mean, getting paid is nice too, but that's not why you start, right?
Right. Or
Just
for the lessons, right? The experience, the knowledge, the failures. That's why you should go into it.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
can go
I love how
fast.
you, yeah, I love how you said fail fast, right?
Yeah.
So that you know what you're doing wrong, you can get that over with, and then. But a lot of people don't really view failure as a positive thing, right?
No,
So they'll fail
it's,
and then they get down on themselves and they don't want to
yep,
try
they give
again.
up. Right.
Yeah. So
Gotta,
what kind of
especially
gets you?
while you're
I know
young.
you
Yeah.
probably failed a lot in the creation of your business. I know I did. Um, what kind
And
of kept?
everyone does. Anyone who tells you they don't fail, they're not being
Yeah,
honest, because everybody fails. It's how could you do it as quickly as possible so you can finally get good
yeah.
at it, you know?
So what kind of kept you going or staying positive or motivated on times where you felt like you weren't making any, you
Yeah,
weren't
good
being
question.
successful?
That's a hard one, man. It just you gotta love the mission and you gotta believe in yourself. Like, listen, I've been at this. God, I don't even. It's like my 35th year or something of working, right? I'm not where I want to be yet, man. I work friggin' hard at it every day. I feel like it's just around the corner, like, because I know we're going to be successful. I want to change thousands of veterans' lives, not a couple hundred each year, right? To do that, I got to grow a business that's going to be 50x what I have it right now, and that
Yeah,
I just have to never stop believing that we're going to get that done, right? Just that no quit,
yeah,
that get out of my way. I'm going to do this. I don't care what you say. I don't care what setbacks I have today. I'm going to figure this damn thing out.
yeah,
Most people in business fail because they quit on themselves and they just don't hang in there long enough, and
yeah,
it's hard. It's not easy. I get that. But and there are
yeah,
tough times when, it's not going your way, but man, if you believe in what you're doing and just don't give up, don't quit, just keep going. And if you have that mentality, I think you
yeah.
eventually you'll get there.
Because being an entrepreneur and setting your own hours, which already takes a lot of, mental strength, especially if you work from home, where the fridge and the couch are right next door to
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's that was powerful. That was really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
So let me ask you, what's something that you don't like about your job?
Yeah. There again, there are a lot of things of those too, right? I mean, I talked about the stuff I love. What I don't like, you know, first of all, I love working at home by myself. I love that flexibility, get to go to
Yeah,
the kids' games and all that, go for a walk when I want, but I miss the human interaction with people. I'm on Zoom all day long like this, right, with our team. So,
yeah,
um, I miss being around a lot of other people. I mean, but um, I when you're the boss, I mean, it's the team comes first, like if
hmm
there's not enough money to pay me during one week, I go without pay, right? So um, that part kind of sucks,
yeah.
Um, I um, I don't know. Those are probably the two main
Yeah.
things I
I think
don't like.
some of it is scary because you don't know, like sometimes your pay is inconsistent versus if you went out and got a regular job, you know how much you're making, it's
Right.
coming in every week, right? Like for me, sometimes I have really big months and some months I don't get paid that much at all.
Yeah.
And having that inconsistency is sometimes kind of freaks me out, which maybe some people don't want to do it. But what you said
Yeah.
earlier was I keep using the word powerful because it is. Like, as long as you believe in yourself, and I
Yeah.
know it sounds cliche. I mean, you just gotta believe in yourself.
Right.
um, but it's true. Like when you're feeling like a failure or you're not going to be successful or you got to believe in who you are, your product, what you're doing, because if you don't love it, then you're not going to want to keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, because I'm counseling veterans every day. That's what we do.
Right.
And And most people, I feel, vets or civilians, have this view of the corporate world thinking like, oh, I'm going to go get a salary job because that's safer. That gives me stability. I'm like, that's the furthest thing. Like these companies could give two craps if they have to lay you off or fire you. And just look at what goes on at some of the bigger companies out there, Facebook letting go 10,000 people, Google letting go, right? And you want to have career stability and never have to worry about a paycheck. Learn to be your own boss, to not have to rely on somebody else to evaluate you or decide how much money you're worth. Develop some skills, learn how to sell, learn how to run a business, learn how to solve somebody's problems, and you will always have value. There will always be people out there who will value what you're doing, Johnny, because you're going to help that 58-year-old out of shape, overweight guy who's staring a lifetime of misery ahead of him. You're going to give him some years back, right? And quality years. Give him a chance to walk his daughter down the aisle because he's, right now he's overweight and obese or whatever. Give him a
Right.
chance to go ride a bike again. I'm
Yeah.
58. I saw a picture of one of my high school friends the other day on Facebook. I was like, holy fuck, this guy looked like he was 90 years old, with just, he was like 300 pounds. He was like three times the weight he was when I saw him last.
Hmm.
Bags under his eyes, just looked so down and depressed. And it's like, man, there's a guy who just never took care of himself. And in the later years, right? Like a lot of us, it's hard and it gets harder as you get older.
Yep.
And that was it's tough, man. It's for when I see some of my friends who are in their late 50s, I'm like,
Yeah.
Mama
We're
mia,
not
man.
doing
I
well.
I can't stop. That's why I get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I had a colleague of mine, extremely wealthy. I think he just boasting about something online I saw where he passed the 25 million earning club or whatever it is company, right? So extremely wealthy.
Hmm.
Um, and then 2 weeks ago, I see a post on LinkedIn and it's like, it's one of these like, hey, everyone, please pray for me. I just got diagnosed with cancer, right? This horrible health issue he's facing now. I promise you, he is not thinking about his bank account right now. That is the furthest thing from his mind. The only thing he's thinking about is, holy crap, I better freaking get healthy, right? So I can be with my little kids and like
Yep.
nothing else is more important than the health in that instance, right? And staying fit and staying eating right and so we can all live the life. If you don't have your health, man, forget all the other stuff.
You
It's
got
not
nothing.
important,
Yeah.
you know.
I actually made a post on Facebook the other day and saying that like everything that's important to you right now that you're working on will eventually suffer if you don't take care of
Yeah,
yourself, if you don't take care of your
yeah.
health. Um,
You can't buy your way to health, man. You
yeah.
gotta work
I
at it.
can't tell you how many clients I've had who came to me yeah, they want to lose weight and feel better, but it's not because they want to do it. It's because, well, I need to do this because I need my children to like
Right.
respect me,
To see,
or
yeah,
I want a job promotion, or I want people to like look at me and not
yeah,
think I'm a failure, right?
yeah,
And people can be so judgmental, which I feel like a lot of people have a bad, relationship with health and fitness because it's all about trying to look better, but it's not. It's about living longer and living a more fulfilling
yeah.
life.
No doubt. And the confidence that kind of like when you feel good about your body, like you're working out, you're eating right, you're getting a little stronger. It's not
Yeah.
so much about like, oh, I'm gonna now walk around without my shirt on at the beach. It's not that. It's just that
Yeah.
confidence carries over into business. You stand a little taller, right? You feel better about yourself. There was a guy I saw on social the other day. I thought it was a great line. He was like 72 and he was like doing pull-ups, without his shirt on, and he looked like he was 20 years old, right? And he's
Yeah.
72. And they asked him something like, why do you work out? He goes, he made some line like something like, listen, I need my grandkids to be able to keep up with me, man. Like, because both usually it's the opposite. It's always like, oh, I hope I can walk and play with my grandkids. He's like, I need these
I need
grandkids
them
to
to
be
keep
able to
up with
keep up
me.
with me. I fear for those guys. Thought that was line.
That's funny. That's good. Awesome, man. Well, hey, Joy, I think what you do is incredible, and I know you have like an online community, right, where you bring in people through some sort of course, right, for a
Yep.
couple months.
Yeah. Okay.
So, real quick, man, I wanted to ask a little bit more about the community and how people can get more involved.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, any veteran, active duty, transitioning service member, MIL spouse, we are here for you. Everything we do is free on your behalf. We have an academy that we do every day, 4 hours of live training and speakers and expert-led sessions, and we'd be honored for you to come join us and to learn everything about what we do and see all of our sessions every day, just go to 7eagle.com, the number seven, the word eagle.com. And if you are working with a company who you think, hey, we would love to bring on some veterans to our team to provide this nice patriotic act for our country by giving opportunities to vets and getting a really incredible worker, we'd love to work with you. We'd love to help facilitate that. And like I was saying earlier, the government has this great program where you don't even have to pay them for the first 3 months. So you get a chance to test drive a new
Really
hire,
cool.
see them in action
So,
before having to commit. So and the government makes it really easy to bring on our military, but we would love to, whatever we can do to help anyone in your audience. And likewise, we would love
cool.
to share all of your coaching and training sessions with our audience, and maybe some of these guys I know could benefit from some of your coaching.
That'd be perfect. Thank you, man. That's great. Thank you so much. Anyone who's listening, please go to 7eagle.com, check them out. Risk free, sounds like you can get the first 3 months for free. With the ultimate goal of helping you find a meaningful and rewarding job that's going to
Yep.
match your skills, right?
Yeah, it's always free for the candidates. The companies,
Okay.
yeah, the candidates we never charge. So it's always free. If
Okay.
you're in the military, vet, whatever, we're here for you.
Perfect. Is that just for the United States or is that kind of
Yep. Yeah,
okay?
just US.
Okay. Great. Cool. Awesome. Well, Jordie, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to have more amazing guests like Jordie here with us. So, Jordie, hey, man, thanks again so much.
You
And
got it,
good luck
Johnny.
with everything. What you're doing is amazing. And hopefully you have many more years of success with this. So,
Yeah, right back at you. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate what you do for our communities as well, man. It's great service. So.
great. Well, thank you, man. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.